What is a boring go hobby that is not boring at all? Language learning. It is a really fun process, although sometimes it can feel like a grind. Bonsai. I thought it would be a nice little jaunt, since you only have to look after them like 3 times a year and major attention every few years, as long as you water and fertilize regularly. Lies. All lies. Days planning and diagramming how I'm going to fuck up this tiny tree I've invested years in. Multiple books bought and read. Then like 12 fucking hours wiring up this tree and painstakingly watching to see if the apex is gonna do what I want, or if that gin is going to fucking work out. I grow orchids. I thought they were bitchy. I had not yet experienced the wrath of a juniper in a place that does not hit freezing temps. Model building. At first your stuff going to come out looking like crap. Too much glue, not enough glue, you cut a wrong piece, you have put a decal on wrong etc. But after a while, it starts to become peaceful and enjoyable to a point that you genuinely take pride in what you have built, so you go for harder builds and better quality and eventually you have a massive collection of wonderful models and figurines. Making detailed and realistic maps. I grew up also. To entertain myself I used to draw very realistic maps and play imaginary scenarios based on the map. Eventually my family got a computer and I started using Google SketchUp to make maps and flags. Now as an adult with a good paying job, I play EU4, Hawaii 4 and CK2. But I still enjoy making maps whenever I have a pencil and a blank paper. Imagination has no limits. Edit. Wow. I did not expect to get these many upvotes about maps. Many are asking to upload some of them on Reddit, or if I have portfolio. I do not have a portfolio, since I always viewed them as personal hobby and have not thought about uploading them online. However, with the encouragement I have seen on here I feel like I might start making maps more frequently and perhaps start sharing them on Reddit even with my limited time outside of work. Thank you to all the awards given. Never thought my most upvoted comment would be about my personal hobby of making maps. Close bracket. Finding cool rocks. No joke. You get to walk about, seeing cool things, breathing fresh air, and you get a geology lesson bonus. Research, or at least in my opinion. If you're looking for information on a topic you genuinely enjoy, it's actually quite fun to learn a lot about it from different sources. Painting. You are constantly adapting to what the paint is doing, thinking, using your intuition, and you are a lot more active than you appear to be. I do not know if this qualifies as a hoorah or boyo, but I love making Spotify playlists for super obscure themes, like Aerith Summer of 1997 or Aerith feeling you get when you realize you are driving too fast and it is raining go or Aeriths would make a good soundtrack for a zombie movie. I am currently working on a playlist of songs to play a stranded Victorian era time traveler to get them up to speed on 21st century American musical culture. Edit. I am very flattered by all the requests for a link, but I would rather not. My Spotify account is under my real name and face. Gardening. Yeah, I'll be surprised. Car spotting in my opinion. There are some cool cars to see. I specifically like classics, and even some Japanese tuners. They are cool. Woodworking with hand tools. I am addicted and have bought 5 hand planes and cannot stop. I do counted cross stitch. I'm not creative at all, but give me a coded pattern that creates a map. I always do maps, but you can make way more intricate things than you think if you invest the time, and I'm all over that shit. It's how I quit smoking. Knitting. Actually, if you can do it right it's actually fun. Note that you'll probably rage quit if you get it wrong. Editing videos. A lot of my friends say it looks boring, but it is actually soothing and calming after a stressful day. Jigsaw puzzles. And also bird watching. Sometimes you see aerial combat taking place with these birds, especially crows against hawks. Falling down rabbit holes on Wikipedia. Writing down my opinions on SpongeBob episodes in excruciating detail. Edit. If you're interested, then here's my Encyclopedia SpongeBobia page. I'm not very active anymore because I kinda fell off the SB train since 2019, but I have seen every episode in seasons 1 to 11 and most of 12, so like, if you wanna talk to me about SB, that's cool. Also, if you message me on the wiki, I'm sorry if I don't respond immediately. The wiki/fandom has gotten a lot worse in the social side, so I hardly use the website nowadays. Geocaching started this when my then GF and I were dirt poor in college, and now we have logged about 1700 caches in about a dozen different countries. Even just doing it near our home is awesome, because you get to see things you would never see otherwise. Highly recommend. Edit. My inbox has been destroyed by people looking for more information on this, which is awesome. To get started, go to www.geocaching.com. Birding. People love hiking and going outdoors, but as soon as you add in birds, suddenly it is seen as a boring go. Birds are so diverse and you'll never know everything there is to know. Growing algae. I sometimes grab some empty glass containers, ones that I cleaned and wanted to reuse. Fill it with water. Rainwater is the best. Put in a bit of soil or any organic matter. I have a good collection of algae jars and a big bucket. They don't need much maintenance and look cool too. It feels good when you see how you just recycled and produced oxygen for free. I mean, I'm at least not a waste of oxygen. Edit. I did not expect that many upvotes and replies. Thank you all. I've been answering stuff for 5 hours now. Hand sewing. It's meditative and yet requires a lot of attention to detail and skill to do effectively. Meat. Tiny stitches are so satisfying and take a lot of practice. Different applications of techniques requires a lot of technical know-how, and there's a lot of math and abstract thinking involved, especially in structured or highly tailored garments. I'm planning to start making a bodice for Enfire this weekend, since as of right now it looks like we are set to get at least part of a season, and I already know my pattern is going to require a lot of adjusting. Because it's so many pieces, it's going to take some trial and error to reshape them. I hate that fiber craft, garment creation, etc. are considered soft arts. I'd love to see some engineering bro try to figure out how to draft a corset pattern. New challenge, everyone. Make a corset or set of stays to your measurements from a Janet on old pattern and a video you found on YouTube. Model railroading and or train simulation. Crocheting. It can be relaxing, and you have something to wear. I've made a few pieces that won blue ribbons at the county fair. May not be much, but I was super proud of it. Rock collecting. People thinking it is dull until you realize I walked through the woods and waded by riverbanks to get some of mine. That is more adventure than most see these days. Language learning. It is slow, methodical, and can be frustrating at times, but that moment when you can form simple sentences without much effort is probably one of the most gratifying feelings I have ever felt. Collecting coins. There are so many weird ways of doing this hobby. It can bring you to the deep recesses of eBay, a garage sale or flea market in the middle of nowhere, your grandmother's attic, or a random field with a metal detector. And there are so many variations on how you can collect memorabilia coins, state quarters, pre-war coins, silver coins, gold coins, or coins from a specific year, or whatever qualifier you can think of. I have a few boring hobbies. 1. Reading. Every book is an adventure. 2. Sewing. I find it very relaxing and have fun trying new patterns. 3. Puzzles. Watching trains. Even my own family is like it's so boring, but I like thinking about where it came from and where it's going. I like the noise and love the rumble in the ground when a hard-working train goes by. Lockpicking for sure. I see a lot of people with this FUD mentality that only criminals pick locks, but I'm here to tell you that is not the case. Matter of fact, most criminals do not pick locks at all. If you like puzzles and complex mental exercises, lockpicking is great, calming, filled with satisfaction, and develops fine motor skills. There's nothing else I have found that has the support and community behind it. I have met great people in this hobby and we basically are all like a knitting club, but with lockpicking. Definitely a place to develop lifelong friends. Cooking. It seems mundane for everyone. But imagine if you could make your own favorite dishes without spending a huge amount of cash into the fancy restaurant or any kind of restaurant. You might able spend your cash for the ingredients, but you can have your favorite meal for the next few days. Bonus, if you manage to cook a new dish properly, you might impress peoples around you, especially toward your so. Birdwatching. History. Literally about any time frame in history you want/like. It's not boring, it's fascinating. Playing chess. Making spreadsheets. I love finding patterns in stuff. Making holes in wood and stuff. Genealogy. Reading comments. It's interesting to read what different people talk about, how diverse people are. The little clue that a comment gives to get a glimpse or an idea or an assumption of the kind of person the commentator left. It's fascinating how everyone can comment what they are actually thinking and start a conversation or discussion, whereas in real life that person would just probably remain silent. Edit. This sounded more serious that I thought. I have to admit that there are also many humorous and fed up comments that makes life a little less boring. Beekeeping.